Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell if you love to watch more cheating stories. If you want to know how to get back your ex-girlfriend and boyfriend, click the link below.
Is it normal to check your spouse's phone and read all their messages periodically? So my husband has had several virtual affairs, I guess is what you would call them, spanning over several years. I recently found out about them. We had been struggling since 2020 when I found his AITA and then I also had a PA. Both have been ended and the respective apps blocked and so on. I hadn't checked his phone since 2020 until recently. That's when I found all the other cheating in women. He has been checking my phone periodically over the years and reading conversations with my siblings and girlfriends. I told one of my girlfriends and she was upset because we tell each other really personal stuff, struggles and dreams and such. You know, best friend stuff. And of course I do talk about my relationship with them as well. I would know when he read my conversations because he would make snide remarks about things we had talked about. Like them saying his behavior was abusive once. I had taken up for him and told them that he was just hurt and angry and never saw a therapist, so never processed his feelings. He had made a remark saying I should leave or something if he was so abusive. I don't remember, it was over a year ago. Anyway. After I confronted him about his many conversations with different women, he started checking my phone again after not checking for a while. I confronted him and told him if he wanted to know how I felt or what I was thinking, he should just talk to me, since I was trying to talk to him for a while. That was weeks ago. Since then he's told me that he won't talk to me unless we are with the therapist, since that's what I had insisted on, because he would get aggressive and send me into fight or flight, and I was pregnant and suicidal at the time. You know, after we had decided to make it work and got pregnant. Then he would accuse me of carrying someone else's child or refuse to get childcare so I could sleep to work the night shift, so I ended up watching our 2-year-old son and older kids by myself during the day and working all night. While pregnant. So yeah, I insisted on only discussing things during therapy. Well, he continues to not address the situation with me, and won't make an effort to come to therapy with me so we can talk. I keep asking him when he can make it for an appointment, but he never gets back to me. But he checks my phone occasionally without me knowing. I just figure it out when my phone is obviously not where I or my 3-year-old left it, or he makes a remark about something that was mentioned. I also noticed one of my male coworkers stopped talking to me altogether. Won't read my messages or answer me. For some reason I think my husband spoke to him. Anyways. All this to ask, is this normal behavior? I had accepted it as normal and welcomed it at first so he could feel confident in me again and help to heal. I thought allowing him to read everything would help him see I wasn't hiding anything, but now he won't even talk to me, and it's been 2 years since the whole thing, so I don't know why he's checking my phone instead of talking to me. I mean, he won't talk to me about his own cheating, which I recently discovered. Update. How do you update? We finally just spoke about what I found on his phone. I've already forgotten how it came up, but it spiraled so badly, and the gist I got is that he still thinks he did nothing wrong because according to him he was never physical with these women, so it didn't count. He kept going back to what I did and saying how what I did was much worse and he didn't kiss anyone, anyone, or tell them how he can't wait to be with them and blah blah blah. The conversation turned to him saying he doesn't need sex, especially from me. Because I was trying to tell him how whenever we are being intimate he says a lot of things and then the next day none of it applies. I gave the example of how when we made up finally after his AITA but before my PA, he promised he would open his phone, told me he loved me and that we would work it out, and then we made love and it was very emotionally charged for me. Then next day he went back to not allowing access and not caring. I do believe that was my tipping point, tbh. I told him he was gaslighting me because he insists he never said that. I had to understand it was during a time we were living separately, when he went on a dating website and gave his number out to women, and I told him no, it was the time we lived together and we were saving up to buy our house. And he said he's not gaslighting me. But I was having none of his shit. He also said, after it was clear that I wasn't backing down, so, you have a house now, don't you? Also, when he saw he wasn't able to take back the original reaction of, we were living separately, as in he was denying saying that, but I firmly insisted he did say that, he tried to now turn it and say, but that's not what I meant, and even though I asked him to explain what he meant then, I still have yet to hear the explanation as to what he meant by that. He's insisting I read my affair text so I can know what I've done. The things I said about him. He said I accused him of raping me and called him a rapist. I never said that. I simply woke up one night to find him on top of me. And because of my frame of mind then I had felt betrayed and used. Usually throughout the years I would just let him do whatever because it was while he was sleeping and had no recollection in the morning anyways, so I would either just move away from him or just go along with it since he didn't know what he was doing anyways. Well, this time I was just not in that frame of mind, having already felt betrayed. So of course I went and told the guy the first was talking to at the time, who had offered to be there for me as a friend, who had been giving me advice and telling me to talk to my husband, go on dates with him, etc. Anyways, I was reading them with my therapist so I wouldn't spiral into suicidal feelings from the self-hatred accompanied with it, but I told him today that I will no longer be reading them because I was there and I know what was said. I'm sorry, this is really long. He deflected a lot and turned it back on me. Also told me that I should get my divorce papers for him to sign. And I said that I never mentioned divorce, so why is it my divorce? He spoke in circles, trying to confuse me. He accused me of telling the therapist that he's abusing me. I never told her that. I told her I wasn't sure if he was and I needed help discerning that because I promised myself never to stay in an abusive relationship again. I simply described the way he spoke to me and things he would say and how he would say stuff in front of the kids sometimes, and she told him he can't talk to me like that in front of them and asked if someone talked to our daughter that way how would he react. He said he would understand there's something behind it. And I was like, I'm sorry, but anyone who talked to my daughter like that, I'm gonna beat the shit out of them. Anyways, I told him if I told her he was hitting me and all that she would have already called the police. Yes, he said I told her he was hitting me and made him out to be abusive. Just to reiterate, I did no such thing. So there's a lot going on and I seriously regret not recording the conversation so I can listen to it later and analyze it properly. Here are some of the comments so far. He is probably projecting. You shouldn't have stayed together, this is such a toxic relationship. Nothing about your relationship appears to be normal. For some reason you have decided to ignore every red flag and try to personally work on a situation you can't fix alone. Why is it exactly you need to regain his trust? I am really confused by all of this. From my POV, an open phone policy between partners is a normal thing. My wife and I have been that way our entire marriage. However, in your case, what he's doing sounds very toxic to me, and rejecting therapy definitely presents a red flag, indicating he's not the right partner for you anymore. This is projecting, and this is also controlling who you are talking to and monitoring what you're talking about. Hence the comments about certain topics of discussion and your coworker not messaging you back. This is a type of manipulation to try and get you to stop talking to people about your relationship problems and to start cutting you off from people. My ex used to do this and get upset about if I looked just random things up. Why are you looking up the rain radar, he would say, 'cause it's my day off tomorrow and I have work washing to do. It got to the point I would change my PIN to my phone so he would ring the phone company and get the call log from them. We were under the same plans thingies, my phone was in his name. People would then notify me he had rung them to see who they are. It's normal when a partner gives you reason not to trust them. Luckily enough for me, mine was too much of a drunk to effectively hide his affair. I got out within a few months. If you don't find anything, then good. If you find cheating, then don't stick around. My husband and I always knew each other's passwords and there was no reason to doubt until there was really reason. I would even go into his Instagram after he passed out to delete a post like the one where he accidentally posted a pic of his balls while taking a pic of a new thigh tattoo. Not always snooping, but damage control as well. Your relationship is toxic and over. Like, I hate to tell you this, but your relationship ended years ago and you're dragging it out and drug a kid into it. Neither of you respect each other. You don't have any communication. You don't love each other, you love the idea of each other. You're probably holding on to the idea of what could have been, the cute family with happy parents and outings, etc. That's not the reality though. Checking phones in a relationship is the beginning of the end. If you can't trust your partner, then it's over. If you've been cheated on, don't take that into the new relationship. If you're staying after being cheated on, then you're choosing to trust them, and checking all of their stuff isn't trusting them. Split amicably if possible for your child. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell.